Today is Wednesday, May 18th, and I'm home from work a little bit early because we have our first doctor's appointment today. And I'm very nervous about it. My appointment is at 3:30. I'm having like my initial appointment just where they're going to talk about symptoms, I assume, get some general info so they can kind of estimate a due date, and then do blood work, which is my number one fear. So I am extremely anxious about that. And I just don't like going to the doctor in general. I'm now 7 weeks and 4 days. And I'm definitely experiencing more nausea or just like really food aversions. Like I can eat, but I don't want to eat a lot. The only thing I freaking want to eat is a Wendy's burger. Like, how random is that? Because I'm not like a big fast food lover, especially not things like Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, like that vibe. But it's all I want. Every day I'm like, I could eat a Wendy's burger. I could eat a Wendy's burger. I have no problem eating this. None whatsoever. I don't know what the deal is. Joe had today off, so he is driving me to my appointment because I believe I will pass out when they do the blood draw, because that's literally like my number one anxiety trigger. Just thinking about it can make me feel lightheaded. We'll see how it goes. I'm not expecting too much out of this because it's just the first one. Like, I'm not getting an ultrasound. There's not much they can tell me just by like looking at me and talking to me. So the thing I'm most excited about is getting the results of the blood work later on this week. Like, knowing that everything's good and like having further appointments scheduled will like put my mind at ease. I need to finish the rest of this burger and then take a shower and get dressed. We are headed out. I am in a cute little dress. That's not what my tummy is. I'm very nervous. I'm scared. This is the end of me. I'm going to pass out. Hopefully the Wendy's will keep me alive.
Yeah, provide sustenance.
Alright. Big day.
Just got back from the first baby appointment for Bub. Went well. Rachel didn't have to have her blood drawn, which was going to be a traumatic thing, so that's good, I guess. I mean, we got to do it eventually, but did find out we probably shouldn't go to Mexico, so that was a bit of a bummer. So got to figure out that whole trip situation, but it's exciting. It kind of starts to feel real now. You know, the doctor's like, you're pregnant, so anywho, peace.
It has been a while since we've been home. My appointment was fairly quick. We were in and out in about an hour. If you've been to the doctor, you know that most of the time is just waiting, so it was nothing. I did a urine test, pregnancy test, and it was obviously positive. I got the results while I was waiting for the doctor to come in. And other than that, like, she took my blood pressure, the nurse did, then the doctor came in and was kind of like, how have you been feeling? Any symptoms? And I was just like, I'm just a little bit nauseous here and there. And he was like, okay. And then he just kind of went over like some very, very, very basic things and did like a regular kind of pelvic exam and breast exam. Pretty like typical stuff. I didn't need a pap smear, which was nice because my last one was in 2020 and they do it every 3 years if yours are normal. So nothing much to report. They didn't end up taking my blood, so I was anxious for nothing. But it's super exciting because we have our first ultrasound planned or scheduled for next Tuesday, so less than a week. Tuesday, May 24th, same time, 3:30, so after school. And that is going to definitely like ease a lot of my anxiety, like knowing that baby's in the right place and hearing the heartbeat, because after you hear a really strong heartbeat, that cuts your risks for miscarriage by a lot. So I'll be happy to have that done and to have ultrasound pictures before we announce. The one thing that he mentioned was that they really discourage you from traveling to like Mexico and Central America because of the Zika virus threat, which I had heard of, and we had booked a trip to Mexico like months and months and months ago for mid-June, almost exactly a month from today. So that was not fun to hear. I almost cried immediately because like I hate plans changing, like it really messes me up. And I was like, if that's like non-refundable, that's gonna be a big like financial hit. We were able to get back all the money for the resort, not the flights, so it only ended up costing us about $1,000, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad and is worth, like, it makes sense to not take that risk for $1,000. And I know I would have just been anxious anyway, but like if we had gone, but I'm just sad that we're not going to be able to go because that was going to be really fun. So we're probably going to plan something just here, maybe a beach trip or something like that. We also have our next like regular appointment scheduled for June 28th, I think. Now that we canceled that trip, I might try to like move it up so that I'm on a little bit more of like a 4-week schedule. But I find it so interesting that they didn't take blood today because the next time they see me, I'll be 12 weeks. And that seems late to be doing the first blood draw. Like when you're looking for things like, I mean, just blood type, anemia, any sort of thing in there. I mean, I guess at that point they'd be able to tell me the sex of the baby through blood work, right? I mean, at 12 weeks, like I'll be anxious about that, but at least I won't be working at that point. So I'll be able to come home and like not worry about anything. So that is the deal. I'll probably just continue this until my next appointment. That first ultrasound, I cannot wait to see Bub and hear the heartbeat, or at least see it. Less than a week. Eek. Today is Saturday, May 21st, and I am officially 8 weeks pregnant. I'll show you the little bump. I actually feel like I'm less bloated now than I was before, but it's definitely like nothing. My boobs feel like they've gotten sore again, like my nipples and just my boobs in general. So that like comes and goes, which is interesting. But let's see, week 7 recap. I had my first appointment. That was basically nothing. I think the anxiety and stress of thinking that I was gonna get my blood drawn triggered that nausea that I was experiencing. It could have been unrelated and I would have been like a little bit nauseous regardless of that appointment being scheduled or not. But it's also like immediately after the appointment, I felt better and haven't felt queasy or nauseous at all since. And I feel like I don't necessarily have like a strong appetite, or I'm not really hungry, but I'm able to eat more now. And I don't feel, like queasy or like averse to anything. So that's been good. My mom said that she didn't have any sort of sickness with any of us. She had 4 pregnancies, 5 kids, and never felt like sick with any of us. So I'm hoping that continues. I only have like between 4 and 5 weeks left in my first trimester anyway. So even if I did start feeling sick, it wouldn't hopefully be for that long. On Tuesday, we have our first ultrasound, which I am so beyond thrilled about. I cannot believe that we're gonna see Bub then. Like I can't believe it. It's so weird. I'm more so excited now. Like there's still a little part of me that's definitely gonna be nervous on the day to, you know, like making sure Bub's in the right place and that everything looks good, that there is a heartbeat and all of that. But something just tells me that it is going to be good and that I should be excited and not nervous. My skin is starting to suffer. I have this lovely zit that just makes like my whole face look whack. And then I have a couple other little things. Nothing horrible though. So I'm thankful for that. I hope it stays at a minimum. We will see though. At the tail end of week 7, all the wives' tales are still pointing at boy. However, I am not tied to that idea anymore. I'm like moving away from it slightly where I'm like, I don't know, it felt like a boy in the beginning, but I'm kind of moving towards girl now. So I don't know if that's gonna like waver a lot or what the deal is, but I'm kind of more open to it now. Open to the idea that it might be a girl. Whereas before we were like, it's gonna be a boy. We know it. It's gonna be a boy. If it's a girl, we'll be like, excuse me, check it again. But I'm more so like, maybe it is gonna be a girl. I don't know. Like I was looking at dresses for like our gender reveal and I'm getting so like ahead of myself, but I'm getting excited about that because like it's gonna happen pretty quickly. Like we have our 8.5-week ultrasound scheduled. I have my regular appointment scheduled on the 21st, which I believe I will be like 12 weeks at that point. Let's see, June 21st. Yeah, 12.5 weeks is like when I'll get my blood work done. And then the week after I go in for my like NIPT genetic screening ultrasound, and I believe they're gonna do blood work as well. They might make it 2 appointments, but if they do blood work then we'll definitely know the sex then, which is absolutely crazy because that's in 5.5 weeks. So like we could be doing our reveal at like 14 weeks. So in 6 weeks, which is so soon. It's just like that first little bit felt so slow. And now I'm already like, wow, we've already known that I'm pregnant for almost 5 weeks. Like how has that happened? It's so weird. I will end this here and I will see you on ultrasound day. So soon. I'm so excited. It is Tuesday, May 24th. It's ultrasound day. I cannot believe it. I am obviously at work. My appointment is at 3:30 after school, and I'm going to the clinic that is closer to me over here. Luckily, both of them are in really convenient locations. One's closer to work, and then the other is closer to home, so it's fine either way, but I cannot believe we're gonna be seeing our little bub in less than 3 hours because it's 1 o'clock right now. I am so excited. Like obviously I'm nervous because there's a lot that could go really wrong. Like this could be like a devastating appointment if there's like not a heartbeat or if it's not implanted in the right place, but I just feel like it is and that it's gonna be good. Like I feel like the places that I've felt, I haven't really had like cramping necessarily, but the places where I felt like stretching and little twinges of things have been what I think is in the right spot. I've had enough symptoms to feel like it's progressing the way that it should, and I just feel good and hopeful. And I know that like the chances of something going right are much higher than something going wrong, even though that's a much scarier situation, having something go wrong. So I'm just hoping there's a heartbeat, Bub is in the right place, and is measuring like about how far along I think I am. I think I am 8 weeks, 1, 2, and 3 days. I'm hoping that the next 2.5, 3 hours go by like smoothly and quickly, Usually the afternoon is pretty like quick, so I can't believe it. This is such a huge day.
So we're in the parking lot for our first ultrasound to see the bubs.
It's 3:20 and I am very nervous.
And I'm overheating.
My anxiety definitely kicked in. I'm just like, everything better be okay. And I have to pee because I don't know if it's gonna be like an abdominal or a vaginal ultrasound. And I know that for an abdominal ultrasound, you need a full bladder. I doubt it's gonna be that. There weren't notes on whether I would need a full bladder or not, but I've been chugging the water and I've certainly got to pee.
I think they would tell you explicitly if it was, you know?
I doubt it. This early,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you know, I don't think it would be an abdominal, but we will see. Hopefully we'll be able to get some clips. I've heard that some clinics or some even like sonographers are very stingy and some are fine with pictures and videos. So we'll see what we get. We were not able to film during our appointment. There were like so many signs up on the wall that said no phone zone, but it's fine because that was like a very special moment for just Joe and I. Everything was absolutely perfect and I'm so thankful. It is like the biggest sigh of relief to know that everything is good. It just, oh my gosh, I could not be happier. But it also like still hasn't fully sunk in. I'm like, I saw you on the screen, but you're in there? Like, it's just so strange. It's so weird. The only thing that she said was that I have a small subchorionic hematoma, which is very, very common, she said. It is just a little bruising on the uterus. And she said it was really, really little, so it would probably just like go away on its own. Here is little Bub. You can't see too much. Like it's hard to decipher obviously because it's like zoomed in and Bub is just so small. But there it is. There's the little feet and the arms and the head. It's just weird that like even though it's so small, you can see all of those little parts. Here's the one that's labeled baby. I think you can kind of see this one even less. Like I think this is the head and arm, foot, and like the butt. I think. Had a strong heartbeat. She said it was 169 beats per minute. And we got to hear it, which was so amazing. It's interesting because she said that I look like I'm 8 weeks, 3 days exactly, but my due date is still January 2nd, which is not what like any of my apps said or any like due date calculator has said. And on here it says the GA, which I assume is gestational age, has 8 weeks and 1 day, but she told me that it looks like 8 weeks and 3 days, like what I said. So I don't know, it's like, it doesn't really matter at this point. That's 2 days, you know, but oh no, it's down here that said it. This one says 8 weeks, 4 days. So yeah, about what I said. I can't believe like I finally have these, you know, like it's my turn. That's my baby. Oh my gosh. She said that I ovulated out of my left ovary, which is like such a little interesting piece of information to know. She said that when the egg erupts, basically, it creates like a cyst, and that cyst is what produces the progesterone, so they can see that spot. And I don't know, I just think that's so interesting. That's where it came from. And I definitely felt implantation like on the left side, so it would make sense that it like busted out that side and then traveled through that way and like burrowed in more so on the left side. But yeah, that's it. I cannot believe this. I think I'm gonna end this video here, and in the next one, I will probably update you on like the rest of week 8 and 9, maybe week 10 as well. It just depends on how much goes on. I don't have another appointment until June 21st, so a month basically. So I've got a while until like something big is gonna happen. Oh, that's a total lie. We're like telling our families before then. Okay, we've got a lot. So that's that. I will see you in the next update.